Yes, Mystery Steam Reviews, or weekly quiz where we test each other's knowledge on Steam reviews. Yeah, I'll explain the rules in a minute. This week, I do want to say this from the start. We have gone for video games with a horror / spooky / scary setting, because Halloween has just come and gone. I mean, it would make more sense if we were doing it when it was coming up, but hey, we did say we were going to do games set in the United Kingdom. We'll do that next week. So yeah, we're doing scary games, horror games. Yeah.
It kind of nukes genre a little bit, but we'll see.
It does a little bit. So what we've said is maybe we might use, because you know on Steam, when it comes to genre, it will use like a number. Or what you could do is get Steam tags. So pick a Steam tag maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah. So the rules for Mystery Steam Reviews are as follows.
Yeah.
Colm and Matthew both bring 3 Steam reviews to the MSR arena, but they omit the name of the game associated with each review. Their opponent must correctly guess the game attached to each review. 1 correct answer equals 1 point. While both combatants have 90 seconds on each MSR, they both also have help in the form of 3 lifelines. These can be used at any stage during battle and also pause the 90-second timer. Each lifeline can only be used once, and the lifelines are as follows. Hot Seat Haver. Question is the lifeline. And that's where the Hot Seat Haver gets to ask a yes or no question. Second Opinion, which is where a second review is given to the warm chair sitter, a second review from Steam. And Genre. The genre of the game is revealed to the one with the warm arse. But as we say, we might pick it like Steam tags or something like that. So Matthew, is that all clear and correct?
Let's do it. May the thrashing continue.
So Matthew Castle,
I believe it's either 4-3 or 5-4 to me.
I was going to say 5-3. You're winning. You're winning by... I've gone to the absolute dogs lately. Matthew, here is your first Mystery Steam review. Doom and Resident Evil had a baby. And that's from Crab. It's recommended 13.4 hours on record, 13.4 hours at review time. Your time starts now.
Very interesting. I mean, the temptation here is just to go Resident Evil 7, because it's saying it's first-person Doom. It's first-person and Resident Evil. But Doom is also... I don't know if I'm reading too much into this. Doom can also suggest, like, crazy high energy and, like, manic chaos, and that isn't Resident Evil 7. It's a very sedate game. I wouldn't, but maybe it's someone who's just trying to say FPS and can't express it with a better game. It's more like Doom. It's more like Resident Evil meets Half-Life, maybe. No, that's terrible as well. Doom and Resident Evil. Or is it Fear? Because Fear is like a famously... Oh, that's more hectic. That's more of a first-person shooter. How do you feel about Fear, Colm? Do you fear that I'm going to get more points than you in this quiz?
Yes.
I think you've got every right to. You know what? Screw it. Fuck Resident Evil 7. What? I'm saying Fear.
Matthew Cass, is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
So, Matthew Cass, you said the first person made you think, or Doom, made you think of first-person games. You were going down that little tangent. Mm-hmm. You've ended up on Fear, a beloved cult classic, I think, to many. Yeah. And I can tell you that Fear is incorrect.
Oh, if it's Resident Evil 7, I'm going to...
It's
not.
I don't
know what I'm going to do. Okay.
It's not Resident Evil 7, so you can take some solace in that. The correct answer is Dead Space.
But What? Dead Space isn't a first-person game. What? What does Dead Space and Doom have in common?
There's guns and,
there's guns
there
and
are
everything.
monsters.
There
aren't guns and everything. Come on, like, there are guns in it. There are monsters.
You're like, wow, this is so much like Doom. Like, it's the survival horror game, third person. No.
But it's like, if Doom and Resident Evil had a baby, it's not like they would take on all the traits of both Resident Evil and Doom. Like,
well, I'd argue they should have a test for see the real dad is, because it's not Doom.
Let's get Jeremy Kyle in. And
like Resident Evil and Alien had a baby, I'd be like, yes, I can see there's both of the parents in this baby. But here I'm like, they're like, oh, this is my husband, Doom. He's the father. And this is my friend, Alien. And I'm looking at the friend and I'm like, oh yeah, just the friend, eh? Because, rubbish.
Matthew, can I have my first Mystery Steam review, please?
Yes, you can. Not an FPS. There are no guns. This is a walking simulator with jump scares. Nutlord 420 does not recommend it after 2.7 hours on record. Fucking Nutlord. That tells you everything you need to know about this guy.
Time starts now. Not an FPS. There are no guns. This is a walking simulator with jump scares. So, specifying it isn't an FPS would imply that it is still in the first-person viewpoint. There are no guns. This is a walking simulator. A walking simulator with jump scare. A walking... Okay, so... right, okay. Walking simulator with jump scares. So you've no guns, so you're going to be running away from the things, which then makes me think of the Frictional Games thing. And their back catalogue, which reminds me of last week.
A glorious moment.
Okay, I'm going to say this is one of Frictional Games', and this is going to be Amnesia: The Dark Descent, or, I mean, it could be, it was the Chinese Room did that, wasn't it? A Machine for Pigs, or Soma, or the recent one, Rebirth. Because I'm frightened of Soma, I think Matthew Castle, I'm going to say Soma. Final answer.
Your final answer is Soma?
It has to be Chris, because I can't get another one that's Soma wrong. I can't get it wrong.
This is Soma, which last week you gave as the wrong answer to Bioshock 2. And said Bioshock 2 when it was in fact Soma. You've got a bird history with this game. This could help you pull it back. The correct answer is Soma.
Yes! Yes! Get
My
in.
mind games did not work. I thought you'd forget about Soma, and then I'd say Soma again, and it would make you really cross. I was really looking forward to that, so I'm quite sad you got it right.
No, that's memory is burned into my skull. So Soma was fresh on the brain, so quite happy with that. Off to a rip-roaring start. Brilliant. Matthew Castle, would you like your second Mystery Steam review?
Give it to me, Chris.
Game is short, but also very replayable. I played the campaign Tilda 5 times and had a lot of fun each time I did. And that's from Nightmare, which is quite an apt username, I suppose, for these scary games. It's recommended. 21.4 hours on record, 21 hours at review time. Your time, Matthew, starts now.
I'm going to get straight in there and ask for the second review.
Ooh, okay. We're going to pause the timer. And we are going to enact Matthew's second opinion. So your second review is as follows. I forgot this. Utterly disgusting. The game can be completed in 1 hour, and most people do it in 5. Not only this, but the developer have taken it upon themselves to put extra effort into the bundled multiplayer game that nobody asked for, and most people don't even want.
Oh.
It's not recommended, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
With 28.4 hours on record. And your timer restarts now.
Hey, I don't see how you can complain about it being an hour long when you've somehow played it for 28 hours. So, that's suspicious. I'm going to admit, I thought this was going to be oxen free. But the mention of a multiplayer mode makes me think it is not oxen free. Because that does not have a multiplayer mode.
Are you sure?
Unless there's a secret mode where you have like a sass off down at the bonfire.
There may have been. I don't know.
I mean, the 5-hour thing, the 1 hour completion time, the multiplayer mode, I'd say this is pretty comfortably pointing to Resident Evil 3.
Are you sure? You're chuckling away to
I'm
yourself?
willing to stop the clock on that. I think.
Oh, really?
I think this is going to be because Resident Evil 3 also had a not very good multiplayer mode, and you could do it in 5 hours. Yeah.
Is that your answer?
That's my answer.
So the first Steam review led you to Oxenfree, but it was the second opinion, and that's how you've ended up at Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
Short game. It is a short game. Does have multiplayer, but is it this mystery Steam review?
Give me that sweet win now noise.
I can tell you that Resident Evil 3 is the right answer. Well done.
Easy peasy.
Well done, Matthew Castle. So that is 1-1. However, did you get it?
Good use of the clue, I think.
Great use of the clue. So, Matthew, what's next? Oh, it's me. It's my second mystery Steam review, please.
If Resident Evil and Alan Wake had a baby, it would be this game. Rihanna Keeves recommends it up to 26.5 hours, 25.5 hours. My God, has Resident Evil
It's been busy. Yeah, very busy. Time starts now. Resident Evil. I'm blushing. So Resident Evil and Alan Wake had a baby, it would be this game. I love the short. If this game and this game had a baby. I have lifelines to use, so why not pause the timer? And Matthew, can I have? Why not? Can I have my genre, please?
Okay, so this is. It's technically a horror game, but let's see what it says. Let's see what it says on Steam for this one.
Resident Evil and Alan Wake. Resident Evil and Alan Wake.
Genre.
Or the tags.
It says genre action, comma, adventure.
Okay.
Tags. Couple of tags: horror, survival horror, psychological horror.
Okay.
The Steam genre is action adventure.
Okay. Gonna restart the timer now. Action adventure, horror, an action adventure. So what is it? Resident Evil and Alan Wake. Horror game where you use a torch.
That's most horror.
Control wouldn't be considered horror, would it? And it's a little bit on the nose as well if it was Alan Wake and Resident Evil. Just because it's Remedy.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. I can see why you'd make that connection.
But that's like Control isn't a horror game. But maybe you've picked Control. I mean,
I say Control has horror elements.
It does have horror elements. See, is he trying to push me to Control? Or is he trying to save himself just in case it is Control? Oh, Matthew, I can't get Control out of my head now. Oh, dear. I'm going to have to say Control, I think. Control, final answer.
That's your final answer is Control?
It's my final answer, Chris.
You've come to this via Alan Wake. You think if Resident Evil and Alan Wake had a baby, it would be this game?
Maybe there's kind of like, do you know the lads in Control, they're kind of zombie-like, I suppose.
Well,
ish.
I can see the connection. The correct answer is The Evil Within 2.
Okay.
It's a survival horror like Resident Evil. It's a bit open world like Alan Wake. I think that's more of a parental match than Doom and Resident Evil for Dead Space. If I were to meet two sets of parents, I would be less worried about Resident Evil and Alan Wake's baby being The Evil Within 2. I would not think they'd stolen that from the hospital.
Like if Resident Evil was going out with Doom and, you know, you saw a bit of flirtatious electricity between Resident Evil and Alan Wake, you would go, I think they're better together. I think they would, you know, they should pursue that perhaps.
I've just realised
Doom can find love elsewhere.
You can't meet them as two separate couples because Resident Evil is the constant across all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, so it would have to be, like Alan Wake would just be a friend, perhaps. Or I don't know, yeah, a suitor.
It's a confusing setup.
It is
I'd say
indeed.
Resident Evil would have to be divorced if they were married, separated if they weren't, from Doom and is now with Alan Wake. And you're like, your baby makes sense. Your old baby does not.
Fingers crossed, Resident Evil sees the light and gets with Alan Wake. So, Matthew, would you like your third and final Mystery Steam review?
Let's do this.
Would you kindly, and that's from Elisar, recommended 14.6 hours on record, 13.6 hours at review time. Your time starts now.
I mean, this is a fucker. It says Bioshock. Hit me up with the genre. Pause that clock and hit me up with the genre.
Oh, we're going to give him a genre. So, let me just find this here. Hearing me. I have the tags. Where's the genre in Steam?
You scroll it down a bit.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Action, adventure, and some tags for you. Horror.
Right.
Atmospheric, story rich. Is that, I feel like
it's okay. Yeah, okay.
There's a couple of other tags, but I'm like, they're like dead to give away.
Okay.
So will I restart the timer? Restarting the timer.
I mean, Bioshock is a horror game, but it puts me in the realms of like Bioshock 1, Bioshock 2. That's confusing. I feel like you wouldn't give me Bioshock like that unless you're trying to give it to me easy. Question. Well, I may as well use my question. It's the last one.
Okay, we're going to pause the timer. Matthew, what's your question?
How can I separate Bioshock 1 and 2?
Remember, it's a yes or no.
Oh, it's a yes or no. Well, how actually? I don't know if it is. I mean, Um, do you have a gun in this game?
Ooh, okay, let me double check. I am going to say yes.
Oh.
I am going to hold on. What was the question? Oh no. Do you have a gun?
Do you have a gun?
Sorry. No, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I am going to say no. And I'm going to restart the timer. No.
I think you are trying to fuck me with Soma. I think Soma is so like BioShock that someone might write "Would you kindly" as a review for Soma. Because when I was looking for reviews for Soma, there are lots of people who are like, "It's like BioShock. It's like BioShock." Also, if it doesn't have a gun, it can't be BioShock. I think it's Soma. I think you want to get me with the old Soma because of last week. You're trying to get your revenge. And you will not have your revenge in this life or the next, sir, as he said in Gladiator. I think he said that in Gladiator.
Is that your final answer, Soma?
Soma. Yeah.
So Matthew, you were thinking about, would you kindly? Is it just obvious? And is it one of the BioShocks? Asked a question. No guns in this game. It's led you to Soma. So I can tell you that Soma is the right answer. Well done. Well done. Couldn't catch you with the old Soma trick there.
You can't Soma the Somaman. I missed the Soma. You can't get a Soma past me.
So
You're being so clever.
I wonder if we could fit Soma into Mr. Steam reviews every week. Is there any bits set in Britain? Matthew, can I have my...
Gotta get up.
Try and draw
early
this.
in the morning to catch old Castle out.
Can I have my third and final Mystery Steam review, please?
They describe it as a slideshow with jump scares. Nobody over 30 would find this point-and-click scary. 2 out of 10. At Okihara Jones, they do not recommend it after 1 hours on record, 1.1 hours time of review.
Time starts now. A slideshow with jump scares. Nobody over 30 would find this point-and-click scary. So it's a horror point-and-click? Alright, well I'm going to pause the timer. And can I have a second review, Matthew, please? A second opinion. No. I'd love one of them, please.
Okay. If you're under 5 years of age, steal your mom's credit card and buy this.
Quite a shit second review. I mean, that's what the other... Alright, okay, I'll leave the timer paused. And I'm going to ask a... Oh, no, I'll just start it because I had nothing to ask. So I'm going to restart the timer. I'm going to see. What question could I ask?
I can't believe you're using your time to work out the question.
I'm just trying to think, like, what are scary point and clicks? Machinarium? They're kind of like quite childlike. I mean, you can tell I've never played
This is
Machinarium.
a horror game. I'm telling you, this is a horror game.
Okay,
I'm not dicking you around with isn't a horror game. This is a horror game.
Look, let's pause the timer. I'm going to use my question. And I'm going to ask you, Matthew. I don't know how it would help me, but is this a point-and-click adventure game?
I haven't actually played it. Let me have one sec.
Basically, is the review stating fact? Or is it lies?
I'd say no.
Okay. So restart the timer now. Oh. It's a slideshow thing about. Slideshow. Now, you mentioned Oxenfree earlier, which has made me remember, like, I suppose, I mean, if Oxenfree was in your head.
That is a point-and-click adventure.
Is it a point-and-click adventure? Shit, I've no time. Oh no! I can't think of anything! Yeah, Oxenfree!
Is that your final answer?
Yes, Chris, sorry for screaming in your face.
I can tell this is an answer you're really committed to from how you delivered it on the zero at a scream.
Tell
you
me
feel
I'm
that
wrong.
Oxenfree? I don't know what spiel I'm trying to do. Let's just get to the bit where I say if it's right or not. The correct answer is Five Nights at Freddy's. I thought you were going to get that one.
I forget Five Nights at Freddy's even existed.
But it's got like a mouse-based interface. You're cutting between security cameras, so it's a slideshow. I thought the references to kids, no one over 30s, and if you're under 5, because kids play it, don't they? Because they like it.
Yeah.
It's scary. Sorry, I really thought I was throwing you a bone with that one. But instead, you are a bonehead.
I'm just happy that I didn't get Somid this week. So happy enough with that.
But neither did I.
Yeah.
And I want to be a good sportsman at this, but the lead, oh my God.
It's insurmountable. I'm just playing week by week now, Matthew. We can present you with the trophy now already. It's fine.